This video will show you how to make an exploded assembly of your bicycle frame. To do this, all of the bodies that were contained in the original bike frame file have to be saved into their own files using the Insert into New Part command. Make sure you do this when the bike frame is in its non-welded configuration. This video will assume you've already completed this step and have saved the 13 or so parts that compose the entire frame. You will now create a new assembly and drop the saved parts into it one at a time. Making sure that you do not drop the parts into the graphics window, but instead check the green check mark so that the part's origin is aligned with the origin of the assembly. Do this for all of the parts until you have a completely reassembled bike frame composed of the separately saved parts that originally came from the multi-body bike frame file. Notice that all these parts have an F next to them, indicating that they are in a fixed assembly state. I will now go to the Configurations tab where we see that there's only the default configuration in this assembly. Right-click on this configuration and select New Exploded View. This opens up an Explode Manager box, which consists of a pane for explode steps, for the components you'll be exploding, the direction they will explode in, and the distance that they will explode. For this exploded view, I'm going to leave the bottom bracket in place and explode all of the other parts away from it. I will start by selecting my first part to explode, which in this case will be the head tube. I can select any part I want. And as soon as I select a part, I see that it pops up in the components box and a triad appears with 3 arrows which are orthogonal directions to each other in the X, Y, and Z axes. I want the head tube to be dragged off in this direction, so I'll grab the red arrow and just pull it some amount that looks good to me. Now I'll click on the down tube and I'll drag this out a slightly smaller amount, and I'll click on the top tube and drag it out a slightly smaller amount as well, so that they are all separated from each other. Next is to explode this section of the frame, which I will do in the next video.